Two of Australia's best songwriters are to be inducted into the Australian Songwriters Hall of Fame. It's the INXS duo, Andrew Farriss and the late Michael Hutchence. They're responsible for songs including Don't Change, Original Sin, Suicide Blonde and What You Want. That's not a bad little swag of tunes there, is it? Well, Chairman of the Australian Songwriters Association, Denny Burgess, otherwise known for his bass playing in the Masters Apprentices and the Throb. Oh, the Masters Apprentices. Turn up your radio, of course. He joins us this morning. Hello there, Denny.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And as I mentioned, flown in from the US where she lives now, Tina Hutchence, sister of the late Michael Hutchence. Hello there, Tina. Lovely to have you with us.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for having me here.
A very special honour for you, Tina, and you made the decision to make the trip. And why did you do that?
You know, this is an award that Michael really, really would have appreciated. He won awards in every country. And, but this, you know, he was such a great Australian. He was so proud of being Australian. And as he toured the world, he constantly reminded people that he was from Australia. So to be awarded from the industry in the country he came from.
Mm. And would he be especially pleased, do you think, to be acknowledged as a great songwriter?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the base of everything. It's the writing.
Well, Denny, you're the chairman, as we say, of the Australian Songwriters Association. And tell us about the ceremony. Where's it going to be and what's happening?
Yes, Wendy, it's at the Orion Theatre in Campsie. Now, that's in the West these days, and but it's an Art Deco type theatre. It's the first time that we've been at this theatre, and it's an absolutely wonderful setting, and I'm sure Michael would have loved to have been here. You know, it is a setting for songwriters and singers and musicians. You know, it's a great one.
And who is going to be coming along, Denny?
Well, look, everybody.
Everybody.
Well, yeah. Well, it is sold out, and we have everybody from APRA, ARIA, the people like that. They come and be our presenters, and we have celebrities galore, as I say. But it's always a wonderful night, and the Hall of Fame is just about the pinnacle of the night. So, you know, it is going to be huge tonight. And
I guess that you're especially pleased that Tina has been able to make the trip.
Look, we're over the moon about it. Tina's been absolutely fantastic, helping us in the lead up to this ceremony. So we're just so glad that Tina could actually come and be here.
Great. Well, Tina, tell us about where you fit into the family.
Yeah. So, well, our mother had gave birth to me in an earlier marriage. She married Kel Hutchence when I was 11 years old, and Michael arrived about 9 months later. And at that time, they were both working so hard. My mother was, of course, a makeup artist. She would work 14 hours a day. So I was a big player in Michael's upbringing for the first 5 years until we moved to Hong Kong and it eased off.
Yeah. And did you, when you kept up with him across the years, when did you first have an inkling that he had a particular gift for, performance and singing and all those wonderful things that he did?
Yes. Well, he would sing around the house. When he was 2 or 3 years old, you know, you start teaching them little songs, and I used to teach him little, you know, nursery rhymes and things, but he kept it up. He kept singing, and then when he was actually 11 years old, and we were in Hong Kong, my mother was approached and asked her if Michael could sing some songs. They needed something to be put on a disc. And it was a toy of some kind. It was like a little Santa toy that you put a disc in, and it would you'd hear these not nursery rhymes, Christmas songs. And so he went in and recorded these songs. You know, just it was the first thing he'd ever done. And we were so thrilled when this funny, scratchy little record came out of it. And boy, I wish I had one of those now.
Yes. Can you take me back to the day of when Michael died? Can you tell me where you were? You remember where you were and what you were doing and how you heard the news?
Yeah, well...
And the date, which I just don't have in front of me.
22nd of November.
22nd.
My birthday is the 23rd.
And yes,
so I was in Los Angeles. It was a Friday evening, and I had actually just gone out to a big birthday dinner since it was going to be my birthday. And when I got home, there was a call. Rhett was there with my mother, and he was calling to tell me the terrible news. And but at the same time, my husband had walked over and put CNN on, so I was watching authorities walking around the Ritz.
Yeah, in Carlton, yeah.
In Double Bay.
Yeah.
And as he was telling me, and I just slid to the floor. I mean, it wasn't registering because he'd just left Los Angeles 4 days before, where he'd called and, we had a good conversation, although he was upset. He was very nervous, and he really didn't want to be on tour at that time.
And you must, I guess, I know that you miss him personally, but you must get the feeling from those who loved Michael and loved INXS that he's still so absolutely fondly remembered.
Oh, it's wonderful. Honestly, Wendy, I think he would be amazed, because he didn't take himself too seriously. And he enjoyed entertaining, and he loved hearing the applause. But I think you'd be amazed because, there are still fan clubs all over the place. They write on the internet, and they send messages to me through our site, and I answer questions. And
Tell me about the site.
We have a site called michaelhutchinsinfo.com. And you can read up on all kinds of things there, see special photographs and things. And we also have a Facebook called A Statue for Michael Hutchins.
Now this is an interesting one, of course. There's a passionate group of fans who'd like to see a statue to Michael in Sydney. Anywhere in particular?
Sydney, and we're hoping for the entertainment centre. Goodness knows he sold that out several times, the first one. Yes, we're going through all the motions now with the government. You've got to do all the things that you do.
And such a fantastic showman. What was he like away from the stage, Tina?
If you knew Michael without knowing that he went on stage, that he sang, you would think, well, he's kind of shy. Well, how can he do that? But it was he used to call it the other Michael Hutchins that got on stage. But he was very funny. He was very entertaining. He did accents really well. So he would tell stories that people would be enthralled with, and he'd actually sometimes steal other people's stories and make them his own and just to get a laugh. But and he was very loving. He was a very loving man, and always with a hug. And
And how many years is it since he left us?
19.
19 years.
Amazing.
That has gone so fast, hasn't it? It really has. Not well for me. It has. I don't know whether you think it has, but for me it feels just like yesterday. Denny, tell me about this partnership between Andrew Farriss and Michael Hutchins. Put it in sort of some kind of context for me. One of the great partnerships in Australian music, I would have thought.
Oh, well, of course. Look. To tell you firstly about Andrew Farriss and Michael Hutchins, they just had that rapport. I recently just saw a song on YouTube where they were just getting the whole song together, and Michael just worked so well with Andrew, and it's as you say, partnerships are a funny thing. They can work extremely well, and people like Harry Vander and George Young, and even Stevie Wright with those guys. But Harry Vander and George Young from the Easy Beats, it was just that they were fantastic, and great songwriters. We've had Don Walker has been inducted to the Australian Hall of Fame, but he actually worked a lot with Jimmy Barnes and Ian Moss and people. So, combinations seem to work really well, especially when one's doing the music side of things and one's doing the lyrics. So, and in that case, Michael did the lyrics and Andrew provided the music, and it was great. Just it absolutely worked perfectly.
And I think their sound, I think, was a very sophisticated sound, really, for Australian music, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was something that nobody had heard up to that point, and so it was new, it was exciting, and of course I met Michael at the old Hilton in King's Cross when he just. They just become a band, INXS. They just become INXS, and they were struggling to make it. But as Tina said before, he was very, very shy, and but he always had that warmth there, and I think that shone through as he went through the life. So
yeah, I was lucky enough to know Michael, and he was a real sweetie, actually. And Tina, are you shy like Michael? Because I believe that you're accepting the award on his behalf tonight. Have you got your speech worked out?
I do have it worked out. I think I'll be carrying some cards up, though.
Yeah. You're feeling a little nervous, or?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay. And I believe that Noiseworks are going to play a bit of a tribute. Tell us about that, Denny.
Yes, okay. Well, this is due to Tina, actually. She's very good friends with John Stevens. And Tina, when we were talking about, what happens in the induction into the Australian Songwriters Hall of Fame is that usually the inductee will come along, accept their trophy, and then they will do a couple of songs for everybody, which enthralls the audience. But in this case, of course, Michael can't be with us. So John, I believe Tina arranged that John would come along and sing for us, which is fantastic.
Why did you choose him?
It was spur of the moment. I was speaking to Claire Burgess over there, and I said, what about if we could have one of his friends like John Stevens would be great? And she agreed, and let's do this. So, but, I hadn't seen John in a decade. I didn't know. But we have some mutual friends. So.
Yeah. Okay, all good. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic night. Some of the people who've been inducted before, Harry Vander, George Young and Stevie Wright, Russell Morris, Glenn Shorrock, and the Birtles, Graham Goebel from the Little River Band, Brian Cadd, the Angels, Ross Wilson, Richard Clapton. Oh, wow, there is a bit of a lineup, isn't there? Don Walker, Garth Porter, Kate Ceberano, Johnny Young.
A few good songwriters in those lots.
Yeah, what took you so long to get around to Michael Hutchins?
Wendy, it's always a case of trying to do it in accordance with family and just working the whole thing out so that everybody is happy about the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, well, wonderful. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic night. Now, Tina, do you have a favourite song of Michael's that we could play today?
There is a song called Just a Man, and it's about the family. And so if you have it there.
Yeah. Well, this track, this is from Tina. It's from the 1997 album Elegantly Wasted, which turned out to be the final INXS album Michael made before he was found dead in his room at the Ritz-Carlton in Double Bay later that year. And it's also the title of a book that you wrote about Michael, Tina.
That's right, yes. And it's just been revised. It's coming out again next year.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much both for joining us, and I hope that you have a really brilliant evening. Thank you so much.
Wendy Harmer, weekdays from 8:30 on 7:02 ABC Sydney.
Two of Australia's best songwriters are to be inducted into the Australian Songwriters Hall of Fame. It's the INXS duo, Andrew Farriss and the late Michael Hutchins.